And joining us, our political panel, Hill's managing editor Bob Cusack, the Washington Examiner's Betsy Woodruff, and ABC News political director Rick Klein. Rick, last night said she's the luckiest person in the world because her emails were destroyed. Now she looks like her luck has run out.
You can't say that those missing emails are likely to be uninteresting. Look, this whole story from the start has had a really quality to it. And like, really, you're talking about referring a sitting United States senator for further examination. Really, you lost all the emails?
That?
Yeah, for that.
Well, not for his conduct, because someone else was writing him.
For something that other officials so quickly say this is just not something that goes anywhere. Yeah, it confirms suspicions, or seems to confirm suspicions around Lois Lerner, and it is just going to exacerbate all of the political tensions around this and the serious cries of what happened to these emails and what else do we not know about what was going on at the IRS.
You know, Betsy, I think I look at it like a lawyer and think if I were representing her, what innocent explanation could I give for this? And I'm at zero.
It's really tough, and especially if you look further down those emails, Lerner said she didn't want to appear on stage with Grassley.
I don't like Grassley to appear on the stage with her.
No kidding. I mean, it sounds like there's more to this than just an inadvertent mix-up. It sounds like there could be, a deeper element to this story, and it's hard to imagine it's good. And the other amazing quality is that this absolutely just confirms every conservative nightmare about the IRS. If Ayn Rand wrote a dystopia and created an IRS bureaucrat character, it's hard to imagine that it would behave that differently than these Lerner emails are suggesting she acts.
Bob, Senator Grassley must be furious, but he could have kept his name silent in this, but according to this article, Grassley and his wife signed waivers allowing for their names to be released on this whole group of emails.
Sure. I think this is stunning to show how much power Lerner thought she had. She's going after Grassley.
Or abuse of power.
Abuse of power. Going after Grassley, who's one of the most powerful Republicans on Capitol Hill. Remember the Finance Committee, Judiciary Committee, who also does a lot of oversight himself. And the fact that she went after him, and I think this is why this story continues, is because everyone, or most everyone, has gone through some type of audit where they felt like the IRS has done some type of wrong, and now we're seeing going after sitting senators. That's remarkable.
But yeah, Rick, what makes this so appalling is the fact that there isn't a scintilla of evidence that Senator Grassley did anything wrong. An invitation was sent inadvertently to her from some group that wanted to get him to come speak, and there's no indication he ever got any. They received the invitation himself, and she decides to refer him for an audit.
Yeah, the casual nature, by the let's just send this up there and have an investigation. Talking about a United States senator who, by the way, has oversight through the committees that he serves on over the IRS and has been involved in those issues for some time. It's not like the Grassley name is unknown to the folks at the IRS. They know exactly what they're dealing with. I do think this story took on a new level of momentum over the last week, over the lost emails. The very simple way that Paul Ryan outlined it at the hearing last week and saying this is not what you'd be asking of an average taxpayer. I think it just makes it more relatable. And
see, I think this is so far more explosive than anything else, this email, to me, because this shows, look, she's a lawyer. She knows better. She knows exactly what she's doing. And there's not one suggestion that this Republican senator did anything wrong, and she just abuses her power and sends it for an audit. I think this is the worst we've seen of her.
Another interesting factor is their invitations, according to some reports, were mixed up. If anything, the group made an inappropriate offer. That says something about the group, whose name was redacted. That says nothing about Senator Grassley. But this group that also invited Lerner, according to reports, seems like they didn't get targeted, at least as far as we know, although the emails that disappeared might have more information.
At least Senator Grassley's a big boy and he's a U.S. Senator. Think of the poor Tea Party groups who didn't have that gravitas and that power and that authority. But here's the other interesting thing: the IRS official who she emailed with waved her off, saying that an audit would be premature because Grassley hadn't even accepted the invitation. I don't know if she's that abusive or that ignorant. It's hard to tell. And
it's a question of if Senator Grassley was a Democrat, would she still seek this type of examination? So this is something that I think. The other thing about Grassley, he's one of the most highly respected members on Capitol Hill. It's not like he has a shady past or ethics problems. But she went after him.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I do. I think enraging United States senator at this stage is not the way to handle an investigation like this. This is going to make it just last longer. I
actually think it's a good thing because I think it should put some of the people who had doubts. When you see this, when you see her emails, it's just going to, now maybe others will say that this is not a phony scandal.
It seems like she was very trigger happy,
or abusive and partisan, whatever. Anyway, one quick thing, panel. Yesterday, as I noted, I said Lois Lerner is the luckiest woman alive with her vanishing emails. Well, her luck just ran out, and not just with the email tonight. Take a look at this. In 2008, Lerner's law school alumni magazine putting her on the cover. It is the Western New England College School of Law, and its headline, Lois Lerner rocks the IRS. It also says Lerner has reached rock star status with the federal government. Embarrassing and slightly funny. All right, panel, stand by right now. The mystery of the vanishing Lerner emails. Lots of lawmakers say they just don't believe the IRS story.
Who could possibly believe that they've lost 2 critical years worth of emails?
How does the Exchange server lose all those emails?
And that's the thing, it doesn't.
The sent box and the inbox, and you suddenly have all the emails, correct?
And you can't keep 6 months worth of employee emails?
Ms. Lerner should be tried.
And developing now, Republicans on the Senate Finance Committee sending letters to several federal agencies, including the DOJ, Treasury, and the FEC. Lawmakers demanding the agencies turn over any emails they have from Lois Lerner. Finance Committee member Senator John Thune joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Greta.
And you've sent off a number of letters. You've sent it out to the FEC, to Secretary of Treasury, the Attorney General of the United States, and also to the Chairman of the Finance Committee. What do you want?
Well, first, the hard drive allegedly crashed at the IRS inconveniently in that period in 2009 to 2011, just when all the conservative targeting was going on. But there is public information, public reporting that there was email correspondence with these other agencies of government. So what we're saying is we're demanding the Justice Department, Federal Election Commission, Treasury Department, any emails that they have correspondence with Lois Lerner, that be turned over to the committee.
Why is anyone not pursuing that? I realize you're in the minority in the Senate, but I mean, are these organizations not willing to do this search from top to bottom to see whether or not Lois Lerner is doing anything inappropriate vis-a-vis emails? I know there's one suggestion with the FEC that she's sharing confidential information.
Right, and we're going to find that out, I hope. I mean, we'll see how responsive they are. The IRS has not been responsive. We've had an investigation at the Finance Committee going on for some time now, and they're not getting back to us. It's just they're doing everything they can to kill that investigation. So we're asking for a hearing. We're hoping that we're in the minority in the Senate. But
Senator Wyden, I mean, he must be like, Senator Wyden didn't like it when he's lied to a few years ago at a hearing. Maybe he's not going to be happy about this.
Well, I hope that's true. I mean, this should outrage not only Republicans but Democrats. And as you just mentioned, this latest example of targeting Senator Grassley, whose integrity really as a member of the United States Senate is unquestioned, is another example of political targeting. It's clear that these guys who have the power, literally, to ruin and destroy people's lives will stop at nothing. And I think this is the Grassley letter is another example. But we believe, at least, if we get the emails, since the hard drive evidently doesn't have her on her end, if we can get them on the other end from the agencies that she was corresponding with, maybe we can get some more information and some more answers. But right now, there's no accountability. This is an agency that's run amok. There are other agencies in government that are evidently losing their hard drives as well right now.
Well, you know, I think the Democrats control the Senate, of course, and I think they may want to get on this one because the American people are growing more and more unhappy about this. And this email tonight, where she's targeting a U.S. senator, I mean, imagine that if you're just some small business person in North or South Dakota or Wisconsin or wherever, and you get one of these targeted emails that are just unjust. It's like this is a big chance for the U.S. Senate to do something to get to the bottom of it.
Well, it is, and it should be bipartisan. You're absolutely right. This new information, these new revelations, I think, provide yet an opportunity to really get to the bottom of this, and hopefully it will motivate Democrats more so than they have been in the past.
Special prosecutor needed?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, we're not.
You think Holder's going to do that?
No, probably not. But he should.
Do you think Holder thinks this is a phony scandal at this point?
I think it's. I don't care who you are. If you're the American people, it certainly isn't phony. I mean, there are people who get audited all the time, and they don't get the luxury of being able to say, I lost my information, or the dog ate it, which is what the IRS is saying.
I knew Eric Holder when he was a Superior Court judge here in Washington, D.C., and he would not stand for this. I don't know what the new Attorney General Eric Holder's like, but Judge Holder would be very suspicious.
I hope he takes it more seriously than he has in the past.
Senator, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Greta.